Hello, episode 53. We have a chicken. I think a while ago I made chicken noodle soup and I think people liked it. So how are we going to make chicken noodle soup without chicken, right? So I thought today I'll do a video on how to make a chicken broth, which is the most important part of the soup. And so I bought chicken. I like buying whole chicken because it's more fun, right? It looks like a chicken. You get to kind of take it apart. It's really cool. And if you look at the price, it's only $12, and you can probably eat it 3 meals, easily 3 meals. So each meal is only $4, and if you take that into perspective, it's extremely cheap because you save the trouble of cooking by someone else. You don't have to pay them. So let's get started. So yeah, like I said, always buy whole chicken. It's fun. You get more cuts of meat that way. Get some varieties. Not just always chicken drumstick or always chicken wings or always chicken breast, right? You get a bit of everything. So I'm going to do some washing the sink if you want to see. So just touch it, okay? I know it's raw meat, but just get your hands on it, alright? Don't be too taken aback. It's going to be fine. If you think about our ancestors handled these raw meat all the time. Don't need to worry. So they come with giblets, which I can show is probably a liver and a stomach, the front stomach, and the neck. Let's not worry about those. You could probably eat them. I eat them, but I'm not going to exactly show how to cook them because they're more on the experimental side. I don't really know how to make them too well, so give them a good rinse. It's kind of a small chicken because it's organic, you know. If you buy a broiler chicken, I think those are called, at a kind of a normal supermarket. I bought this one at H Mart, which is a American Korean market, so they tend to have higher quality produce. But if you buy them at a normal supermarket, you can buy these chicken for even cheaper. This chicken's $12, but if you buy a normal broiler chicken, I think it's only $6. So imagine that. It's just so cheap when you buy a whole chicken. Alright, here we are. So what you want to do with the chicken is take off the limb. We'll put them in here, I guess. Just take off the limbs and then take off the breast. Okay, that's all I do. There's probably, see this fat? If you don't want to, throw it away. There's probably a right way of taking apart a chicken. I haven't watched the videos. I probably should because I probably do it right and I probably do it wrong. But it's fine. It's part of learning. Okay, so take off the thighs first. So see this chicken look like a heart this way. See, I'll give you a better view. See the chicken look like a heart, right? Like a heart this way. Just cut off the end of the heart and you'll see it really separates very nicely right into the joint. So the chicken has a drumstick bone, which is here, and it has a thigh bigger bone, which is here. Okay, so just try to separate and separate. See, so this is a bottom cut. Can you see? It's the bottom, and then we'll cut the top. So it's nice to have a pointy knife. Okay, make sure you have a kind of a pointy knife. And so you find that the joint is somewhere. This is a back. Okay, so the joint is somewhere here, and you don't need to really cut the joint. The beauty of cutting meat is all you need to do is release the tension on the muscle, and the joint will collapse onto its own weight. So you don't really need to cut the joint or saw through any bones. See the thigh with the drumstick just come off. Okay, so all you need to do is kind of know where the joint is and release the tendons and the muscles around it, and it will fall apart on its own. Okay, so let's do the same for this thigh here. Cut down and then cut around. And once you're feeling you're close to the joint, just don't cut it and look around for other things to cut. So see, once you have it separate like this, see, just fall off. The joint is very, very weak without muscles around it. That's why we have muscles. So without the muscle to pull your joints together, you fall apart. Very much like the chicken. See? All you have to do is cut off the support. And so the same thing with the wing. Just cut around the drumlet. Release the tensions of the muscle and the tendons around it. Once you have it, just whoop. See, just comes off easy. Same thing here. Cut around the joint. Don't cut through any bones. There's this famous story in China about a butcher who hasn't sharpened his knife for 3 years because he always knows where the joint is. So it's called 庖丁解牛, if you know the story. Okay. So as you can see, we managed to separate the limbs from this ball. Oh, look at this beautiful ball joint. It's actually a little suction. Oh god, this is disgusting. We should probably stop doing it. This is some rated R. Breast is really easy. So the breastbone, it has a ridge in the middle and it kind of goes down this way. So all you need to do is kind of cut and just feel where the bone is and slowly peel the breast away. So you see, I'm doing the left breast, so I'm cutting into the rib cage and just slowly peeling, slowly slicing the breast away from the rib cage. See, there we go, it's the breast. Here. And there's some extra meat here, don't worry about it. We'll make it into a soup and we'll eventually get all the meat off the bone. So right breast, same idea. Just follow the rib cage. Don't cut through the rib cage, just peel the meat as you cut against the rib cage. And peel, keep peeling it away as you cut, peel and cut eventually. Voila. See? Breast come off. Just like this. And this frame in the middle has some meat on it that we didn't manage to cut. Has some meat on the back that we can use, but mostly it's a lot of really nice bones. So you should think about how to make a broth out of this. So what you can do, this rib in the middle is very weak, so you can cut through them with a knife very easily. Just give it a probably crack the joint somewhere near the wishbone, and there's just a little bit of stray tendon connecting them, so you can, if you go through these, and you have the two frames, see? So these can use to make broth. Here we have the chicken breast. I'm a little bit Not sure how to make breast, even though white people really love this meat for some god forbidden reason. They taste terrible. They don't taste like anything. I just fry them. I'll make a video on frying chicken strips. It's really nice with the breast because they tend to be dry, and when you fry, it's actually juicy. And you have the limbs, which is 2 chicken wings and 2 drumstick attached to thighs. And this is 1 chicken. Look how much meat it is. So this is probably 1 day, this is another day, this is another day. So you can eat it for 3 days easily. I mean, it's a lot of meat. Okay, so let's try to show you how to make a chicken broth. So I'll wash my hand real quick. It's not too bad, right? Just need a pointy knife. Make sure you have it. So what you want to do is, one of the things that could go wrong when you try to make a broth is a lot of foam and come out, and you have to skim the top for the foam, which is kind of disgusting looking. And the way to avoid it is to actually soak it. Soak your meat, or in this case, bone. So, let's see. I'm not sure if you can see it, but you see this bone here already have some red color, and you know blood is made from the bone, right? So in the bone there's actually a lot of blood. So, and blood dissolve in cold water much better than hot water. So blood is kind of like ejaculation. If you don't mind me saying that, it's when it gets hot, it coagulates, but when it's cold, it's very loose. So what you do, just soak it. And I don't really have any idea how to make these giblets. I'll probably make a soup out of these too. You could eat them with some soy sauce after I boil them. So probably put these in too. So this is let's try to play the identification game. This is a heart. So heart has a lot of blood inside. And this is the neck. And this is the gizzard. And they've done not a good job, because if you see this membrane on the gizzard, it's actually extremely bitter. So make sure to remove it. You don't want to eat gizzard with a membrane. It's very bitter. And this sloppy looking thing is the liver. Okay, so we just soak the whole lot for a few hours and just boil them and become a soup, become a broth. And in the meantime, let's pack away these. And what I do with chicken is you cut these up and you wrap them in a cling wrap, and you can put it in the freezer, and when you want to eat it, just defrost them by throwing it into the sink. Why do you need to put it in the cling wrap? Well, the reason is fridge is very dry. And you can ask, oh, but why is fridge really dry? Well, because fridge is very cold. And if you know something about physics, water wants to exist as a solid when it's cold. So that means the air in the fridge probably has very little water in it, because it's all been frozen away into the ice in the fridge. So that's why fridge is dry. And if you put the chicken in the open, in the freezer, they quickly become desiccated and become not very easy to cook, and or to not tasty for that matter, right? You don't want to eat dried up meat. So. Well, it's good to make them into a cling wrap. Also nice for separation. if you lump them together, they all freeze into a single chunk, right? Which is hard to use. So I think next video I'll make 酸辣汤 from the broth that I'm making very soon. Alright, let me just put them all in the bag. And you can feel how heavy it is. Probably a good 4 pounds. That's it. Through the fridge. And we'll see you soon with how the broth is going. Alright, hi. I think it's 1 hour. As you can see, it's getting a little bit murky. So just pour this out. You don't really need to rinse chicken, to be honest. This is a kind of a bigger issue with other meats like pork or beef. They inherently has way more blood in them than chicken. So, although I can still see a little bit blood coming out on the bottom, especially from the heart. My goodness! Here, come look at this. So this is a heart. If I squeeze it, blood is... Oh, I guess that was the last of them. I could have swore I see some blood leaking out of it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is great. So we'll go ahead and boil this now. And the thing with boiling a broth is to not add salt. What we'll do that is all the ginger. No, we'll add some ginger. What do we feel like? This here. Let's use this one right here. All right. Okay. So here's meat, and what do we do with this ginger? Well, maybe we should peel it, so that the juice of the ginger come out easier. How do you boil this? So first of all, don't add salt, okay? When you add salt, the meat tends to tighten up and make it harder to make a nice broth out of it. So don't add salt, and add salt in the end for flavoring. Okay, so I think this looks pretty good. What you can do with the ginger is you can score this into almost a slice, but not all the way through. You can score it the other direction. Just whatever. Doesn't matter too much. See, now I have some cuts on it, so hopefully it releases some. That's it. Just boil this. Keep it very simple. Put it on high for now until it boils, and then down to a simmer. And we'll check out the simmer overnight, and we'll check tomorrow morning when I wake up. Alright, see you. Hey, just woke up. See? I woke up to this. Looks so nice. And I have to skim the foam once only, but it's pretty good to soak first to drain the blood. So I'm going to boil this on high heat for about 10 minutes and see what happens. Alright, here it is after 1 hour. I think if you want chicken noodle soup or something more thicker, you probably want to boil for a bit longer on high. But since these are already simmered overnight, so the structures of the bones and the meat is very fragile already from simmering overnight, so if you boil it, a lot of the content will come out very easily. As you can see, here we have some kind of a clear broth. If I want a white broth, I'll keep boiling it until it gets lower. And yeah, that's it. This should be good for some of the other dishes, like hot and sour soup I'm about to make. Yeah, that's it. Food.log. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, update weekly. I thought this episode was pretty cool because you get to see how to butcher chicken. And yeah, that's it. See you next time.